Okay, so in the last video we looked at how to solve systems by elimination. Now we're going to see some examples of that. So we begin with the equation y equals 2x and 5x minus y equals 9. And so the first thing that we notice here for elimination is that our equations must be in the form ax plus by equals c. For the things that we do in our elimination method to work, the like terms have to line up, and they have to be on appropriate sides of the equal sign. Okay, so that's an important thing when we do elimination. So here in this equation, let's say that I go ahead and bring the y over so I get the equation 0 equals 2x minus y. Okay, now that equation's in the standard form. When I write that down, I'm going to write it with the 2x minus y on the left hand side though. So I get 2x minus y equals 0, and I have 5x minus y equals 9. So I had to take that equation y equals 2x and rewrite it so that the x and y's are on the same side. So we have that same format in each of our equations. Because elimination is based off that idea that then we can just add down and combine like terms. So then the first step is to choose a variable to eliminate. Well, as I look at these two choices, x or y here, I say, well, the y's are almost opposites right now. One of them is that they're both -1, so if I change one of those to be a +1, then it will be opposites. So, so I can do that. I can change, say, the y in the first equation to a +1 by multiplying the whole equation by -1. Okay, so this is the step of multiplying either one or both. This time we get by with just multiplying the 1. Okay, and so we do that. That would give me the equation -2x plus y equals 0. The other equation I haven't changed. And now if you look at your y's, they're opposites. I have a positive y and a negative y. So I can now add straight down. And when I do, the y's cancel out, and I get 3x equals 9. Well, I can then solve that equation for x very easily and find out that x is equal to 3. Okay. Now, once we know what x is, we can take that answer, plug it into any of our equations relating x and y, and then solve for y. So particularly, I can use the equation y equals 2x. So if I plug 3 in for x, I get y equals 6. And so I have my solution there. X equals 3, y equals 6, or the point x is 3, y is 6, 3 comma 6. Okay, so let's consider another example. So here I have 2x plus 3y equals 13, 4x minus 5y equals -7. This equation's already in the proper format. The x's and y's are on the same sides. It's in the same order in each equation. So at this point I need to decide on a variable to eliminate. So we can either pick x or y. Here we're going to pick x because if you look at the 3y and the 5y, there's not a really good thing you can multiply 3y by to get 5y, or 5y by to get 3y. We'll see an example of that in an upcoming video. But for now, if we look at the x's, I have a 2x and a 4x. I say, well, if I just multiply the 2x by 2, I'll get 4x. And since I need it to be negative, I should multiply by a -2. And so that's exactly what we're going to do, is multiply the top equation by a -2. Okay. Doing so gives me the equation -4x minus 6y equals -26. Okay. Bottom equation stays the same. And again, the whole reason for doing that, the whole reason for multiplying that top equation by -2 was so that those x terms, right, the 4x and the -4x there, could become opposites of each other. So that now when we add our equation through, the 4x's will cancel out, and then we simplify. -6y minus 5y is a -11y. Negative 26 and negative 7 is negative 33. So we can then proceed to solve for y. It's a very easy equation to solve now. We just divide both sides by negative 11. We find out that y is equal to 3. Okay? And then we can take that answer, plug it into one of the equations we haven't used yet, or either one of our two equations, sorry, not that I haven't used yet. One of our two equations relate to x and y. Alright, so we plug 3 for y, and then we solve that equation for x. So we plug that in, we get 2x plus 3 times 3 would be 2x plus 9 equals 13. We can then solve for x by subtracting 9 from both sides. Get 2x equals 4. And finally divide both sides by 2, and we find out that x is 2. So our solution here is to point 2, 3. X equals 2 and y equals 3. Okay, so in the next video we'll see some more examples with elimination. Until then.